5 lights, and away we go. I think everybody got a decent start there.
That's an insane start from Koushik. Exactly what he would have wanted. Oh, RB Ferraro, he just sneaked onto the inside and he has to P2.
Salvage some points all the way down.
Eccentric sending down the inside on Oxygen, and Oxygen is coming back alongside. Putting his wheels, and he's side by side going around the outside. And I think he's got the move done. Yes, he has got the move. Oh, still there side by side, but it's got the inside line.
Singapore Grand Prix here today at Tier 1. Of course, this is round 7 of our IRC season here, and I'm joined here by ABD. ABD, how are you feeling today?
Hello. Hi, I'm good.
Alright, great. Are you excited for Singapore today, ABD?
Yes, very much. Looking at Tier 2's race today, we know what to expect from Tier 1 as well. A lot of chaos, probably whenever there's a restart, and too much fun. Should be fun.
Yeah, definitely. And again, if you just joined us for Tier 1, make sure after you finish your Tier 1 race just to take a look at Tier 2. That race was pure chaos, and it's a fun watch for a spectator. Moving ahead though, of course, when we talk about Singapore, it is a bit of a tight track, but it is one of those street tracks that it does tend to work in terms of its complexities and its opportunities for racing. So it returned to form again back in 2022. Of course, the last race we had here was in 2019, if I'm not wrong, and it was Vettel's win. So we've missed Singapore for 2 years, and it will be amazing to see our drivers go through Singapore once again. What do you feel about that, ABD?
Yes, it would be. And we have seen a lot of our drivers practice for, the change of weather that can be anticipated throughout this session. Also, that is, rain is not off the cards, definitely. We can expect some partial wet session as well. It was a dry session for Tier 2, but if it's a wet, it's going to be a long night tonight.
Oh, definitely. It's going to add to that track. It's going to add to our track time as well, and it's going to be a difficult race for our drivers to manage. Of course, like I mentioned, the track is definitely narrow, and with a wet track, keeping your car out of the walls is a challenge. But it is a challenge that I think our tier 1 boys are ready for, and I think they'll give us one hell of a show here tonight. Now, thinking about Singapore, I think one of the races I generally think about, of course, is the 2019 Grand Prix. I think it's still a very good Grand Prix, and it was an unexpected win from Sebastian Vettel. And moving on towards some of the better races, ABD, do you think there's a bit of a contender here for the best Singapore race in F1 history?
Sorry, I didn't get you. In the F1?
What would be the best Singapore Grand Prix in F1 history since 2008, essentially?
Yes, it's got to be 2019. It has to be 2019. Yes, indeed.
All right, perfect. So yeah, again, there'll be a lot of Bill fans here and our spectators that'll enjoy that reference. Of course, the last Vettel win as well, and it's been a long time since Sebastian has got a chance to bring the fight to the leaders there. Shock, is there still a chance the lobby's ready, or
yeah, it'll still be just a little bit, but I guess we can go to the track video if you want.
Yeah, sure. Let's just go to the track video then. All right, so perfect. We here have our track layout. Of course, the track distance is 5.063 kilometers, and we have 23 corners here. And as mentioned, we have 3 DRS zones here to give our boys in Tier 1 maximum chances for overtaking opportunity.
Yeah, so
moving
it'll
on.
just be a little bit before we can go to the lobby.
All right, okay, that's fine. So, everybody, you were mentioning a wet weather as a factor in Singapore, and I think I can definitely agree with that. This is, of course, one of the most humid climate racing condition in the F1 calendar. Singapore is known to be very humid, and rain can be a factor at any time in the race, so you can never factor out rain from this circuit. And having, of course, we tend to race as well here. So what do you think when the rain starts to come down on a dry track, what is the first thing you're sort of focusing on? Is it just the tire temperatures, or is it just keeping your car on track?
Yeah, so that's a very good question you have asked. It has to be the tire temps because that is the main factor at this track. And so for this reason, the dry setup has very low pressure. You just have to go for very low pressure on your fronts because your fronts is the first to get heated up. That's the
Right.
that's the most you always have to keep a watch on it. And if you're fighting like if you have got a battle with a driver, and then that's not going to help you at all. And yeah, the most important thing would be, I think, is to keep consistency, because the driver behind you is not going to overtake you impatiently. He's just going to wait for you to make mistake. He's just going to put that
Definitely.
pressure on you.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you that, of course, half of the time I've raced here, I've always waited for the other guy to make a mistake. And great that we can see qualifying is now underway. So we'll see some of our drivers coming out. I think I can see an Aston Martin coming out now. We see a McLaren coming out, a Simply White. The McLaren seems to be very eager to get on track and start putting those times in. And we also see Black Sheep out. We see everyone basically coming out at this stage. Everyone wants to get an idea of what the track is. And ABD, did you get a chance to look at the weather report?
Yes, I did. It's going to be dry, but probably 30 minutes is the overcast conditions, cloudy.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going
All
to be
right.
dry session.
All right. Let's hope something changes there. But regardless, let's see if our Tier 1 boys can actually bring an entertaining dry race. We've seen our Tier 2 boys to a certain extent do that as well. So let's see. Again, we have Simply on his outlap right now. But the driver leading, I believe, is Streeter. If I'm not wrong, Streeter is currently the first one out of the pits and is on his outlap.
Yep.
Yeah, Streeter. So Streeter will be the first one. No, it is Black Sheep, the first one to cross. But Streeter has a bit of an open circuit in front of him right now in quali. He's just getting his tires ready so that he can push up in his first quali lap. He just lets the car of I believe Moto pass through and is slowing down a tad bit, keeping someone behind. I believe it's Vision. We'll just keep an eye out on. Okay, can we just move on to
Black Sheep? I think we can go to Black Sheep.
Black Sheep. He's on a lap. So, ABD, would you like to take us through this lap?
No, I will hand it over to you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so as you can see, Black Sheep is heading towards our three consecutive cornerstones for 5, 6, 7. And again, what he's focusing on right now is testing the track, and he doesn't want to push in too much. He brakes a little early there, trying to get as much of the apex as he can. And he moves on towards our second sector, essentially. And again, he's keeping the braking sector, he's keeping his braking in control, trying to make sure he tests the track grip before he can actually push. But we do see him getting quite close to the walls. There is a yellow flag in sector 3. I guess that's just a car slowing down. But again, Black Sheep keeping his calm, getting his throttle inputs right, and braking perfect. He's trying to use all of the track to set up a time right now, and just using the apex as well. As we can see, he's going through turn 16 and 17, moving towards 18 and 19. Again, a little wide towards the exit of 18, but still manages to get a decent exit out of the corners, and now heading towards the last two corners, that is turn 22 and 23, and still gets a good time of 137. But I've been hearing people state that normally we'll see somewhere around 136 as a current lap time in the Singapore Grand Prix right now. 136 would be, or 135, or low 135 would be the time we're going to aim for. And as we speak, Moto sets another fastest lap of 136.9, and goes almost 6 tenths quicker than Black Sheep. And we see Streeter spin, and luckily Streeter doesn't have wing damage. That is better for him. But and we see the Ferrari of RP just lose it on the exit of turn 22 towards turn 23, and he almost misses the pit wall there. Yeah, there's a bit of chaos going here on the first quali lap, ABD. A lot of people spinning out, unable to keep their car under control.
Yeah, if you see everyone, like literally all the 19 cars were on track as soon as the qualifying started, and there we see no more Pro P going off the track. This is just the pressure that is building by the car behind. Everyone, like 19 of them, have started their outlap together, and there's a car behind them at 3-second gap. So it's just there always.
Definitely,
you have to keep an eye on him. Yeah.
And keeping the pressure under control is an important aspect of it. And Russell puts the fastest lap of 136.6. Everyone's starting to put on their are trying to show on their pace right now, and we're gonna see maybe Helium or maybe even SD sort of challenge for pole today. Let's see what happens. Of course, possibly SD is currently sitting in 138.322. And so we'll be able to see what happens there. And again, Alpha Ashray. Are we on board Ashray or Alpha Bot?
Now we are on board Regin, who's going to pit.
Yeah, I don't think
we were
Regin
on board
had
Alpha Bot.
Okay.
Yes,
okay, that was a bit confusing because I could see Ashray on the top right, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Regardless.
Oh, okay.
Again, Alpha. Yeah, I think even the system is confused between both Alpine drivers, but well, as per the timing lines, AlphaBot isn't giving his personal best at this moment. He's just giving some yellow sector times, and this is our previous race winner. So AlphaBot again, a marvelous win in Tier 1, if I'm not wrong. And something that popped out of nowhere, essentially a pretty good strategy call that he made that ended up giving him his win. So maybe we could see something like that pop up here today, here as well in Singapore, because we've seen Singapore is one of those races where strategy is key. And I think, as far as I heard, mostly in terms of strategy, it would be a mediums to hards. Is that correct, ABD?
Yeah, it's got to be mediums to hard, but we might see few people with hards to medium as well, because that is also an option out there. And I think it should be the like P11 to 19 people who can opt for it. So, if there's an early safety car, they can just gain those positions.
Definitely. Do you think anyone's going to plan for maybe a true stop with the mediums and the softs? So do you think is that...
we have seen Ferrari do this last week. That is RB Farallo and No More Popi had done that. That is, but the thing is, it's going to be just an extra stint, because few people are doing for medium hards, and you're just going for what medium hard and soft as well. So it's. I doubt if you just have to again bet on the safety car that has to come out in within 7 laps.
True. Yeah, I think you're right over there. I think going for a two-stop would be Quite risky considering if the safety car never comes up. even after looking at tier 2, is still giving a certainty that the safety car will come up is very risky for some of these teams. So yeah, I guess everyone would go for the conservative tire strategy and sort of maybe start on the medium so that they can capitalize on an early safety car rather than the hards.
Yeah, that's it.
And so currently we're on board Moto as he's currently the second fastest on the track, trying to hit, try to save his ERS and probably will start lap as soon as he can. He enables ERS to, or he turns on his ERS to the Hotlap mode, and he's currently on a Hotlap. And let's see what Moto can do as he approaches turn 1, gets the apex, almost correct. Probably wants to hug the inside line a bit more there. But then again, he doesn't want to trust the track a bit too hard, as we've seen some drivers spin out at turns 3 and 4. And again, just making sure he gets proper exit.
Oh, and that's
keeping his
lap invalidated.
Yes, and he
That's a
was
little wide.
on the fast. He had a purple sector 1 as well, so he had a really good first sector with regards to his quality. Let's see if he can still get one more run, but I think if I was in Moto's shoes, I'd probably go into the pits, get a new tire, and sort of get ready for my final stint, because it'd be a bit too risky to go out for one more lap again.
Yeah, it was actually surprising to see Russell put a lap time in his first attempt itself of 136. That was really aggressive, because there's a high chance you can, just hit a curve and get DNF, and you'll have to just start from back of the grid.
So you're right there, but I guess Russell is one of those few drivers today that didn't plan to race, but now he's here, and now he's just showing us that he can bring it to these tier 1 drivers. So let's see what Russell can do. But again, we are on board Bennett at the moment. Yes, Bennett, and he's on those fresh soft tires. In fact, most of them are. Again, with these new regulations, we have 3 soft compounds per quality, if I'm not wrong, ABD?
4 actually. We have 4 fresh
4.
soft tires.
Yeah, and 4 fresh soft tires. So we have an abundance of soft tires to go on if someone ends up destroying or burning them a little bit too much by his thing. But as we see, Bennett is trying his best. He's got a personal best in Sector 2. He's just got the last few corners that he needs to keep his car under control, and he's approaching 23 and 23. One final corner, gets the apex correct, and moves to P9. I believe, did he improve in his position there?
No, actually, he did not. I think he.
I think he did. He was a bit behind.
One position.
A few
Okay.
positions. Yeah, maybe just one.
Yeah, I think he was 11.
Yeah, the person I see losing a lot here right now is 8sil, because as far as I remember, 8sil was P12 and now it's been pushed down to P16, and he's currently in the pits. You can also see the gap here. The gap, apart from the top 5, everyone else is extremely close to one another. I mean, you can see Ashray and Helium extremely close to each other on raw pace, and we see Whistle on another fast lap. He gets so close to the wall there, and just barely misses the wall. But I guess that is what you need to put up a 136 in Singapore. Just just the last 2 corners left, going put on one, and just an amazing fast lap, 136.3. We've seen Russell pushing his car in the first few laps, and now we've seen an amazing time from Russell there. Whistle. And now we're on board RB in the Ferrari. Of course, RB didn't have a good first qualifying stint. He's 9 seconds off pace from the leader, but I guess that's just an issue with his previous lap time. And he has had 2 personal sectors, and he is approaching the last few corners. Again, gets a decent exit out of out of turns 20 and 20 and 21 again, and invalidates on the second last corner. That is a shame to see for RB putting a decent lap in there and just couldn't keep it into couldn't avoid the apex of turn 21. Sorry, 22.
If you look at the mid grade, the gap between each driver is just barely marginable. That's a very small margin between them. Like from P9 to P14, all these drivers are just differentiated by what, thousands.
Definitely. I mean, it is extremely close in the midfield there. I'm wondering which driver will be able to capitalize in the midfield and probably bring the fight to Asher and AlphaBot as well, because those two Alpine drivers seem to be very happy in their position. And we're of course on board Black Sheep, who is in the top 5, and hopefully he can try and bring that fight to SD and Moto because he's had 2 personal bests. He is approximately 3 to 4 tenths off SD's pace, so I'm pretty sure he's going to go into the pits. That seems like a waste of a lap, but I guess he just wants to come in to get the proper tires out. And we see Lokesh using the track to avoid missing out on some new soft tires. Again, we can see some of these drivers rushing into the pits because it's right about the time where you want to enter the pits, put on those new tires and get out, because anything slower than this would result for you losing out on your last flying lap. And we can see a lot of drivers just using some questionable lines to get to the pits as quickly as possible.
I really doubt if he can make it, because there's going to be a lot of traffic. As you can see, there are 15 people in the pits, and now everyone is going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of traffic in the out lap, and they will have to give way for the hot lap.
True. So if I'm not wrong, okay, so that was a lap invalidation for Normal Propi, and I think that's his last lap of the day. I'm pretty sure Normal Pro player can't get another lap in, because like you mentioned, ABD, this traffic will be a hassle, and the minimum lap time that we've seen here is a 136, 137, and there's just 1 minute and 52 seconds left. So even for some of these drivers to get to the finish line is going to be questionable. Most of them will have to exploit track limits. Oh, and Eitzel and Streeter, is it Eitzel and Moto that get extremely close towards the turns 9 and 10. I guess Eitzel is just getting way too impatient with his last turn in quality. What do you think about that?
He was on a hot lap and he just got in the traffic that we were referring to. So yeah, he was on a hot lap. As you can see, his ERS is down to 60, and I doubt if he can go for a next lap with that percentage, because you need at least 80% of ERS.
So Moto basically got blocked by another driver essentially. Yeah, that is going to be a slapstick penalty for the other AlphaTauri. And as Moto actually tries to put in as Eitzel tries to put in one last lap here with half of his ERS down, can Eitzel actually move ahead in terms of some positions? Can he get something out of this? Oh, and we see a Ferrari on track just staying stable. What happened to that Ferrari? There must be some sort of damage involved there. Or maybe the Ferrari just ran on fuel, but here's Moto getting and choosing the streamline to avoid that. And again, Moto has a personal best for sector after the chaos of sector 1, gets a little verby coming out of the exit, but still manages to keep the car under control. And I can see Moto is losing his rears a lot, and as we basically the quali is over and Black Sheep is the first one to cross the line and finish. So Black Sheep is and Moto spins out on the
just to
traction.
confirm though, Hafsa, do you see Moto because we are on board Eitzel?
Yes, we are on board Eitzel. I was going to correct you.
I think it's better if ABD just takes over quality for the time being, as I'm getting a little confused between McLaren and the Alpha boys.
Yeah, and even Moto has invalidated his lap just now by
Yikes.
exceeding the track. I think we'll go on board SD, who is in sector 2, about to go in 3. Oh yes, and he does have 2 personal bests. He might just be able to improve now that Aratia and Moto weren't able to. Or he's taking the full curve. That is really good for him. Round to the last turn, and yeah, that is pretty well done. Oh, the sector 3 just not able to do it right. He does improve by very small time, but it's just not enough to gain the position.
Ooh.
Oh,
And Russell just trying to get as much speed as he can out of the last corner, almost spins out there. But again, that just shows the control he has, and Ashley crosses the line. P5, not a bad result for Ashley compared to the Alpine boys. They finished P5 and P6, and I think this is turning out to be a really good result for both these Alpine drivers. I've seen the Alpine boys struggle a bit in Italy last time out, but yeah, again.
Yeah, they did qualify really in a good position last time, both of them together, and both of them are really close. I just want to point out that Helium crossed P4 in the last, what literally was the last finish, and that puts SD down to P5.
P5. So let's just go over the standings right now. So we have Whistle in P1, Motormoto in P2, Aradhi Gupta in P3, Helium in P4, the Real ST in P5, Asher in P6, Alphabot in P7, Black Sheep in P8, in Kartov in P9, the Banate in P10, Vision in P11, Logesh in P12, Simply in P13, Akash Sanwane in P14, Faizan in P15, Streeter in P16, Eitzel in P17, No More Propri in P18, RB Ferraro in P19, and King James in P20, who didn't put in lap time in that Aston Martin in quali.
Not a great qualifying for the Ferrari boys yet again. I think they were able to make it to the center grid last time, but this time they weren't able to put a really good time. Can we just go through the race director if we have something to catch on stream? Incident. We'll just catch the incident. Yeah.
I think there will be a lot of invalidations here. This is
I will
Singapore.
just go through it, so it's there on the stream.
Right,
can
so
you just scroll down? Yeah, just scroll down. That's fine. So that it is just till the end you can just go speed, full speed. Yeah.
Okay, we're out of time there.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess we'll just move on. Again, Russell in P1, Moto in P2, and I believe who is in P3 right now, IBD?
It was
Aratia.
Yes, it was Aratia.
So we have some good competitors up in top 3. Saying Aradia there would mean that, of course, we'll see Aradia probably send it down in turn 1.
I'll tell you what, Moto will not be happy that Aradia is behind him. Just to remind all of our viewers that the F122 game still has the bug of formation lap, so our lobbies will have formation lap as off till this is fixed. So right now we are just about to start with the race directly.
All right, okay. Thank you for giving me that notification as well, ABD, as I almost forgot about that. And as soon as the lights went on, I would say, oh, this is the formation lap. Yeah, we missed out on the action.
Yeah.
All right, as ABD mentioned, we won't be having the formation lap. Instead, we'll have the race start. So we will move in quickly towards the race start. Again, we have 5 seconds left. It seems a bit quick for our drivers to finalize their setups.
Yes,
okay.
It does look like someone has readied up early. So
All right, so we are waiting for the 5 lights to start this Grand Prix. The drivers are ready, and it's lights out, and away we go as we see Russell get a good start. Moto gets a good start as well. Aradia already overtaken Moto is trying to stay clear of Aradia Gupta. Aradia goes off track, goes a bit wide there. Russell just defending his line, making sure that Aradia can't go for any move on the inside of or the outside of any corner. Again, Bristol just commanding the lead at this stage. Moto is trying his best to make the most out of this situation. And we see Russell using a lot of his ERS just to build a small gap of 5/10 here. And we see Aradhya maintaining his ERS as well. He's keeping calm. He knows that the game is all about maintaining ERS right now. But again, as I can see right now, the bigger winners are RB Ferraro, who's just moved out to P12, and we see Simply moving out to P16. He's lost so many positions, and so has Banat. Banat has probably gotten damaged there as he just moves down to P20. Not a good start for the Alfa Romeo driver. ABD, what do you think about the start there? All right, let's move on. So we could see, of course, Logesh also getting 4 positions right there at the start. He's moved up to P8, and we slowly see Russell start building a small gap as we're on board a lot of drivers, a lot of chaos, and we see Mercedes fighting with McLaren right now. It's 5 sound versus 8. So and Edsel goes.
Because he did have the wing damage. His left wing was orange actually.
That looked to me like a proper Hamilton and Baku moment.
I just felt like he locked his brakes and had to take that avoiding action just to make sure he didn't crash into the wall. And again, we see Moto getting ever so closer to Aradhya, and Aradhya and Russell builds a 1 second gap. So Russell has already removed any sort of DRS challenge coming from the last 2 drivers. I wonder how much DRS Russell has. And King James pits for mediums. I wonder why. And he's also changing his front wing, so he had
everyone is wing damage people. There are 5 people involved with the wing damage.
Simply taking the extreme strategy of going onto the softs, hopefully avoiding any fight to come from King James and Nirma Pro P. So we see the McLaren boys not having a good day today. I think this one is just not going to be the one to remember for the McLaren boys, as both of them move down towards the bottom 5. So what do you think, ABD? What do you think about some of our fortunate drivers? I think one of the few fortunate drivers is RB Ferraro. He moved quickly up to P12 because of misfortune to some other drivers.
Yes, he actually did. He did have a great start. But as you can see, Arthobot gone from P6 to P11, and that was very close hitting the wall there. The DRS will be enabled, and that gets trained. Looks like RB Ferraro.
RB Ferraro is disconnected. Damn, that is a shame for our Ferrari driver, as he's going to move down to the back because the AI level is low in our league races. And we see a lot of drivers are close, and of course DRS has been activated for the drivers, and I guess the next DRS turn that will get us towards turns I believe 5 to 7. So again, we will see some of our drivers. Moto gets DRS, and he's going for a move on the inside towards turn 7, and he's braking late. Moto gets the move done. An amazing move by Moto, and Aradhya couldn't do anything over there to stop that from happening. But I think Moto did use a lot of his ERS.
He did use a lot of ERS, and that is going to cost a lot to him because Aradhya is still on 75%, and the region here is very low.
Yes, I think Aradhya is playing the long game. He knows he's not fighting Moto here. He's perfectly aware that he's going to fight Russell at the end of this race. But the problem for Aradhya right now is the gap to Russell is 1.7 seconds, and that gap is increasing. And we've seen at some stages it moved down to 1.9. So the more Moto, and as we're speaking, actually is getting ready to go for a move on Ashley, and actually does get the move.
Oh my God, that is a nasty one. He just, I think he did not.
It's a safety car. Yeah, that was a bit of a desperate move, but I believe Ashley didn't leave enough space on the inside.
It was Black Sheep who did not give enough space to Ashley, I think. Black Sheep was ahead of Ashley.
True, it was.
I think he should have backed out probably.
Yeah, I think Ashley should have backed out as well.
Looks like that, yeah. Oh, 5. Okay, so 5-second penalty. I just thought it was a drive-through for him. Looks like a safety car overtake or for Faizan. That's a
The
5.
safety car is out, right? Or is it just a virtual safety car?
Oh, it's a VSC. It's a VSC.
Ay. That's sad. I mean, looking at the crash and looking at where the car is placed, I think that should be a safety car. But again, the game just doesn't want that, I guess. But the good news with this is the midfield is about to have an amazing battle. As we can see, Logesh and the drivers behind will of course get DRS as soon as the VSC is out, and I guess it's green, and it's lights out for our drivers here. The green flag has been waved, and it's down to racing once again. And as we see, Moto and Aradia are again 2 seconds behind, but we have a lot of drivers behind Aradia just waiting in the DRS zone, waiting for someone to make a mistake, and RB Ferraro just moves down a few positions because of his disconnection issues. Black Sheep again in P8 with a 5-second. I'm sorry, Black Sheep doesn't have a penalty? Okay.
Yeah, it's the Faizan who has 5 seconds left.
Faizan who has 5 seconds, okay. Black Sheep moving, trying to gain position on the Alpha Tauri in P7 as I believe, if I'm not wrong, did Black Sheep move down before the VSC, or was he already in this position?
He was in the same position actually. So yeah, he is holding his ground. He was P8.
Perfect. So right now Black Sheep has to focus on that Alpha Tauri and hopefully get some benefit of DRS, because the Alpha Tauri won't have the benefit of DRS. He's 1.5 seconds behind low gauge, so this should be an easy overtake for Black Sheep compared to his last. And I believe the AI of RB Ferraro are you sure that's not RB Ferraro and is the AI? Because I feel like that is RB Ferraro.
Yeah, now he is here.
Yeah, and he'll probably be confused as to why he's dropped so many positions, but I guess he knows the AI level here.
Yeah, and that's probably why Python has got 5 in penalty, because the AI refused to go ahead.
Right. You're right. Yeah, that could cause some issues there. Hopefully he can get that removed if that is the scenario. And Black Sheep gets ever so closer to eyeing Kartoffel. I'm just going to call him Kartoffel from now. Regardless, the AlphaTauri driver is getting a lot of pressure from Black Sheep here. And we've seen Black Sheep show a lot of pace in the past few races. So we know Black Sheep has the pace right now. He's just waiting. Oh, and he almost loses it. Oh, coming out of the bridge section. Okay, that was almost a win gone for Black Sheep. And you see the Aston Martin and the Alpine getting so close. So ABD, go ahead and take over with these 2 cars here.
Yeah, so it looks like players have gone quite impatient here, because we can see a lot of cars with 30%, 40% ERS. They're really trying to gain those positions as quickly as they can. It's probably waiting for the safety car, so like they can just keep the lead. But so far the drivers are they're really clean. They are keeping their mind into the race. They're not making mistakes. That nobody is spinning around or something. Everything is going clean. So this strategy of 3 pit stop just might not work. And I think simply could have just gone for medium probably.
Definitely. Simply, again, going for a bit of an aggressive strategy, and to a certain extent it has worked. He's 2.7, 2.8 seconds ahead of King James. I guess what he didn't want was to fight with King James and cause another safety car or probably lose out on the DNF. So he's just trying his best to avoid any fights with the medium tires. Regardless, AlphaBot and Ridgen so close to Black Sheep, and as I'm speaking, it feels like AlphaBot is closer to Ridgen as Ridgen is to Black Sheep, but Ridgen will have the benefit of DRS because of his pace compared to Black Sheep, and again Black Sheep making that one small mistake coming out of turn 12, and AlphaBot just letting off the throttle a bit, trying to make some space here before turns 14 so that he doesn't make any mistake and sort of lose a wing, because that is one of the difficult parts of Singapore, right, ABD, where if you're so close to a person, if he breaks a little too early, your wing is gone essentially.
Yes,
And sorry, we see Bennett trying to go for a move on the outside towards turn 7. And he's almost there. He's got a better exit. And he's got the inside line towards turn 8. And he's making that move stick. Oh, it's getting oh so close there. There's some contact between Nova Pro P and Bennett. Oh, and Pro P almost cuts the chicane to get that and loses another position to 8 still trying to defend against Bennett. A pretty close race between these two drivers, or pretty close battle between these two drivers, and some entertainment to our spectators here in Singapore.
Yeah, that was really close actually. Somehow Nova Pro P held his car and it could have been a serious collision. Yeah.
Definitely, I mean, like I said, Bennett and Opie playing it fair as best as they can in Singapore. And yeah, it was just an amazing move by Bennett at the end of the day. He just chose the outside line, which led into the inside line at the next corner, and he had the benefit of the racing line as well at the end of the day. So again, something that really worked out well there for Bennett, but compared to where he started, it was still not good enough for him. And now we're on board Alpha, but now what we're seeing right now here is basically a DRS
yellow
race.
flag right now in Sector 3.
Sector 3, and that's a McLaren. That's simply, no, that's 8 still spun, and luckily doesn't have any wing damage, but it's just a bit more pain involved here today for his race.
Oh,
With Sector 1, oh, it's 8
yes,
still.
yeah.
This is
those temperatures have risen up, and it's time to cool down.
Yeah, definitely. I think he'll have to give a lap or two to cool down those tires. And I wonder if some of our drivers will struggle with temperature. As we see Alphabot sliding around a bit, those front tires don't seem to be looking in a great condition at this stage. And again, it's just the tires are starting to slip a little towards, I believe, turns 20 and 21. And again, Vision not able to close the gap, and Alphabot just suffering in the dirty air of Vision, trying to keep his car under control, which is one thing we're going to have to take a look at, is the dirty air effect. That does cause some issues here. I believe.
Yeah, and it looks like Helium has caught up to Aratia there, but whereas there's a stable gap between Rizal Moto and between Moto and Aratia as well. We can see there are 3 DRS trains, probably the stop. We have
Sector 2.
Alpha Bot. I think that is Alpha Bot. Yes.
Yeah, he's just. Oh, and with Faizan as well. Faizan's gone. He's got wing damage. That was not great for the Mercedes drivers. It's about to pit again, and I wonder if the Alpha Bot has damage as well. Can we actually see a broadcast look for the Alpine driver? Yes, so it doesn't.
We can see the left end plate is gone.
It's gone. Yes,
Oh,
that is
good spot.
That's gone. Yeah, again, the Alpine driver just not a good day for the second Alpine driver, or even Ashley. Both of them have just lost.
There's one more. I think it's.
Oh wow!
Kartoffel.
Is it Eitzel?
No, it's Kartoffel. P9.
Yeah, you're right. He
Okay.
dives right into the pits.
Whoa. Okay, so we see the AlphaTauri driver coming into the pits. I wonder why. I don't see any wing damage. And those tires should be dead at this stage of the race. So yeah, a bit of a questionable strategy there. ABD, did I miss anything with the AlphaTauri driver?
He did not have a wing damage. He is out within like 2.5 seconds. So yeah, as we can see, I'm not sure. It's probably because of temperature. His tires might be heated up. So that, but I doubt if that is the case. Then it's a setup issue. Then it has to be a setup issue there.
True, it could be. Maybe there was a little less front wing downforce there, so he must have come in to get some more front wing downforce. That's the only thing we can change once we start racing. So let's hope that does help the AlphaTauri driver. At least got an unnecessary pit stop plan for him.
Yeah, and surprisingly, King James is gaining on Simply. He earlier had a 2.5 second gap, and now it is down to 0.7 seconds. Even with the stint, even with the tire
True.
difference, King James is able to catch him.
I guess
Uh,
it's the tires dying for Simply right now. Can we move on board Simply for for a few seconds? I just want to see how his steering input is. Yeah, it is looking a little difficult to manage that. Even though he's going slow around some of these corners, he's still not able to push that car. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here with Simply. I think it's just the tire degradation that's affecting him. And he goes for a move. King James gets an easy move with the assistance of DRS, and he gets P14 and a pretty fantastic move and an amazing lunge by James to get that position done. He simply doesn't fight it too much. He knows his tires are gone, and he's gonna try and keep himself within the DRS of King James at this stage of the race. Helium getting ever so closer to Aradia, but again, Helium using a lot of his DRS just to keep himself in contention for that fight. Let's see if Aradia has enough of that ERS left.
yeah, I wanted to go on board AlphaBot actually because it
Oh,
looks
right,
like
okay.
no more Propi is out
Yeah.
of like flash
Ooh.
for a second, but yeah, he is very close to take him out.
And if I'm not wrong, AlphaBot will be looking to go for a move right now into turn 1. He's got the ERS. He's extremely close. He's going to use some of his ERS. He's going to try to follow Nova Propi. He's getting closer and closer, 1/10 away. He's got to move on the inside. He's got the line. He's gone wide. Will he have to give that position back? I don't think so. And we can see AlphaBot has sailed past Nova Propi, so there's no fight there.
Yeah,
that.
that looked like an impatient move because the first DRS zone is very small, but if you see with the second DRS zone, that's a very risky zone, and that is probably where he should have overtaken. And we can see that Simply has gone for mediums. I really think that he could have finished on hards there with 20 laps. So I think he could have gone for hards and just thought about finishing it off with that.
Yeah, I guess Simply is just waiting for an opportune safety car to go on to the softs again. That is the only way that strategy would make sense. Oh, and we see Helium getting a bit squirmy coming out of turns 3. It's turn 3, perfect. Yeah. Right. So as mentioned, Helium is starting to get some of those temperatures a little up because of the dirty air, and I think Helium has been following Aradia for the past few laps pretty closely. And that is just having a small effect on his car right now. What do you think about that, ABD? Just the tire build-up, the temperature build-up while following another car?
Yes, it does. Oh, and looks like a new wing for Faizan again. I think he did have his wing replaced. Speaking about Helium there, oh, it looks like he's 0.2 seconds off right now. But yeah, he was following him and he's just waiting for a good chance, and he's probably regenerating that ERS because you need that ERS apart from the slipstream to do that overtake in sector 2. Sorry, in the sector 1 itself, but the second DRS zone. So yeah.
Helium has been maintaining that 33% ERS for the past few laps, and like you said, ERS regeneration isn't good on this tire. It's so hard to recover that lost ERS, and I wonder how much. Oh wow, and we see he's getting close here. So I wonder if he's gonna have the pace to challenge down towards turn 7, because I feel like he's gonna be close enough to go for a move if he uses some of his ERS right now. And he does use a bit, but just conservatively, and he is 5/10 closer, so I think there is a chance we can see Helium get closer to Radya. He's 3/10 off now, 4/10, he's getting quickly closer, but just too far away towards turn 7. Radya defends his line, makes sure that Helium can't go for any move right there. And again now, it's just gonna be a repeat for Helium as he gets close by turns 9 and 10. But unfortunately can't make any move, and we see a time penalty to AlphaBot, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
3 seconds.
It's 3
Yeah, it's
seconds.
a 3 second
Or extending time.
Interestingly, right now the top 5 positions are unchanged. So
Okay.
Helium
that's
taking that
true.
position would change that. Maybe that's why it's a bit hard for him to do it.
True, it's getting difficult here in Singapore to actually go for a move. And one more thing to note is Aradhya is losing pace to Moto. So Moto going for that move in the first few laps was actually worked out for him here, because he's had no essentially no challenge from Aradhya in the first half of this race, and Lokesh gets another time penalty. We'll see a lot of time penalties here in Singapore, as it's quite easy to get some. Again, as we're seeing, Lokesh. I wonder if there's any DRS swings. Yeah, there is a bit of DRS swing right behind Lokesh right now. Yeah, Lokesh, Black Sheep, and then it's a lap car of either Eitzel. Yep.
Yeah, that was a really good point that you have put forward. That Moto, as we saw, Moto went with full ERS spam on him, and I think that that's something Helium might want to think about, because he has been behind him quite a few laps. But the thing is, he has to understand whether he is faster than Aradhya or not, because he has to pull away by a second, and then only it is a useful overtake, or else it's just like what a DRS overtake keeps on going on, and this is gonna tire wear.
Can we actually go on board Aradhya and see how good is he managing his ERS? Oh yeah, he has a bit more ERS here, but I don't think Aradhya can keep on doing this for the next 10-12 laps, because that ERS will Helium, the benefit Helium has right now, and we see his yellow
No
flag
more
in sector
Pro
3. Is
P.
that a Pro P? Yep. Pro P
Oh, it
is
has a red
gone.
wing.
That is that's a shame for our Ferrari driver right now. Unfortunately, it's not turning out to be a good night for Pro P, and as he'll have to pit, he'll move down to P19, and Moto will move up to P18. And we see this. Is that another? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
it's
just
green
for
flags.
Pro P again. Yeah.
Right. Perfect. So we see Russell just maintaining his gap quite well. His tires seem to be in good condition, considering the degradation we've seen on the medium and the soft runners. So it does seem like hard tires are the tires to be on right now. And once we see Russell go on to those mediums, is when we'll see him challenge for the fastest lap as well. I wonder if Moto can get.
Dunn has retired.
Wow.
Is there
Okay,
any?
where is that happened? Is it
Oh,
a safety
okay.
car?
No, it's in
It's a
sector
safety
2,
car. It's a
actually.
safety car. I
Yes.
think it's a safety car.
Yeah, the safety car is out.
Yeah, that's
And Helium
that's.
gets 5-second penalty for a collision with
Oh,
Aradhya. What has happened
whoa!
there? Aradhya with the brake test award again. It's happened in the earlier in USA, I believe.
Yikes! This is not good for
If we go on
Helium
board
neither.
Helium, check if he has wing
Yeah,
damage. Yes, he
yeah, he
does,
has.
and that doesn't look good for him. And that doesn't look good for him because he cannot afford to go for mediums right now with 17 laps to go. That's a tough choice for him now.
I
Even
think
for
all
Pro
of
P, actually.
these. I'm sorry to cut you
Yeah, yeah.
off right now, ABD, but I think all of these hard runner tires will have to go on to those mediums and sort of try to see if they can manage those mediums till the end, because again, some of these soft runners like the AlphaTauri and AlphaBot might challenge some of these hard runners. So I wonder if there's going to be a cascade effect where we'll see some of the midfield runners sort of pit for those mediums and start to push
Yeah, and
against the
Rissel
top
pits.
runners.
Yeah. So the Rissel, the P1 driver goes to pit. So yeah, that is something they might be thinking. And Moto has not nice. Speeding in the pit lane, Moto gets 5 seconds for that. It was really close actually. That's just unfortunate for him.
Yeah, Moto unfortunately getting a bit of jinx there. What is happening with that pit stop there? I'm not sure what happened with the pit stop there, because that seemed a little longer
Yeah,
than
wasn't he held
needed.
off? I think it was. Wait, I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening there. Yeah, this race is not turning out to be a good one for Moto, as he's had some small issues here
Can we
and
go to
there.
the tire data? Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, the mediums.
So Rijin decides to stay out. He believes that he can probably vouch for the second safety car. He's maybe thinking of
True.
that.
True. This could be the race that could make it or break it for Vision, or this could be the decision that will make it or break it for Vision. And it all depends on whether there could be another retirement that could bring out a safety car, or even a virtual safety car would help Vision at this stage. And as we mentioned before, ABD, getting these medium tires to the end will be difficult for some of these drivers. So if Virgin can keep his hard tires on for a little longer and then go on to those mediums a little later, maybe he won't be able to challenge for the podium positions, but he will be able to challenge for the top four for P4 or P5 at the end of the race when these medium runners will face a lot of degradation.
Yeah, that is something. That's one possibility, definitely. Oh, and Kartoffel goes for soft. I doubt if he had. I think he could have gone for medium or hard, whatever he had. But a surprise. This is a shocking choice to go for soft right now.
Surprisingly, this has worked in favor of King James and Simply Whitey to a certain extent. I think they will be able to bring those hard tires to the end of this race. 16 laps on those hard tires won't be too difficult in my opinion. What do you think about that, ABD?
Yeah, it shouldn't be. And it looks like the safety car might be out for 2 more laps. Like it's going to go on for. Yeah, it will be out for 1 more lap again. So yeah, it is about 15 laps, 15 or 14 laps of race. So I think it's a possibility. Yeah, it is definitely manageable. So this is something they can definitely finish on. Talking about the 5 second penalty that Helium got, he has lost one position because he has served those 5 seconds in the pit. So that has costed him one position. That he's going to be behind SD now, and he's going to be battling against SD and not Latvia right now.
Yeah, and like you mentioned before, safety car in Singapore is a bit of a difficult thing to manage because you're so close to the guys, and let's say if one person makes a mistake, you can't even avoid that the consequences of that mistake because the walls are so close. So we might see something spring up in this safety car scenario as well.
Yes, definitely. We'll have to keep an eye on each of the driver if they're making a mistake. And it looks like Propi has been caught in the traffic, so he is lapped. And it looks like Simply is on. I think it's Eitzel on P2. That is like the second car. He just has
Mm.
50 cars, so yeah, he is also lapped
He's
by.
been lapped.
He's just lapped by one car, so that's just unfortunate for him.
Yeah. And as you mentioned that, thank you for mentioning him because I was about to ask where is Simply, and we can see on the map Simply is quite far away, so he won't be able to catch up to. I wonder, did he pit once again? No, right? It's just his hard tires that he's on, and he's
Yeah, it's
unable to
still
catch
the
up.
heart. Yeah, it's still the,
Yikes!
and that is why actually that is why I said that it might go on for one more lap because Simply is way far off. Considering this is the first safety car, it might just consider that all the drivers need to be, all should be connected to the safety car queue, and probably that is when the race will restart. So I'm thinking one more lap of safety car is definitely possible.
Mhm. Well, Simply does need one more lap of safety car to rejoin the queue, and we will find out in a second or two if the safety car is coming in or not. And by this point, it doesn't look like the safety car is coming in, so we will have one more lap of safety car. That is all that Simply needed as to bring
Don't you
out
think this
something.
works out well for everyone? Because
True,
all of those medium runners are just hoping the minimest number of laps to race.
true. Yes,
13 is the limit. So
that
yeah,
is correct. Yeah, everyone is praying for the least amount of laps because they all know they're on thin ground or dangerous territory at this stage with regards to tire wear. And we've seen Singapore be unforgivable. One mess up in terms of getting the traction out of a corner, and you're into a wall and you've lost your race. So this safety car to a certain extent, has come out at the right time to get us some entertainment at the end of this race.
Yeah, and can we go on board Regin for the safety car restart, because he's the only driver with old hearts to start, and he's going to start. He's gonna need those temps to be rising right now. He cannot afford to lose his rear because there are a lot of people behind him with the fresh mediums ready to overtake.
It does give me the Charles Leclerc Singapore. Sorry, Silverstone. Oh, and Regin just got so close to wait still right there. Like I said, one of the lucky parts where he did have space on the outside to break there and move away from it. But if he couldn't, then that was definitely a collision for Regin right there. Aye.
Can we go
but
on
again,
board simply? Can we all go on board simply? It looks like he's driving slow right now.
yes, if the car is in this lap, simply has to move up now. It's not. I don't think it's not he's driving slow. It's just the game cuts your throttle input and forces you to move at a slower pace once the safety car comes in. So
Yeah,
I
but I
wonder
really
if he's
doubt if that's the last. It's probably that he doesn't want to rejoin the grids just yet, because then he will have to start weaving so that his temps don't go in the blue zone.
could be definitely could be a scenario, but we see simply has rejoined the queue, so he will be starting with the queue, and this is the one chance the McLaren driver needed to
Yeah, we'll
get
go
some
on board
positions here.
Regin now, Shrak, and with the tire data and everything. Yeah, over to you, Zach.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. So we are just waiting for Russell to finally set these drivers off. It's still yellow flags, but we're just waiting for Russell to get that last one. But he is weaving and he's gone. Russell is gone. And he gets the jump on Moto as well as Regin. Again, Regin just trying to do his best with the hard tires on. And now under pressure from Moto. As we see Sector 3, there is a yellow flag. I wonder it's just the drivers behind. There's no crashes on towards turn 1. Oh, and we see Pro P going into the pits. Some issue right there with this car. Regin 1.9 seconds behind Russell, and Moto just 2 tenths behind. Moto getting ready for a move on Regin. He's using a lot of his ERS. He's taking the outside line. He's gonna have himself clear of the Aston Martin right before turn 7. And a pretty easy move for Moto. But remember, this fight with Regin is not fighting for the podium positions. He's fighting for the mid, for top, for P5, P6, P7. That is what he's aiming for, and that is what he needs to look after. He doesn't need to risk too much, as Arathia is starting to lose time behind Regin. And we can see Moto just flying past the AlphaTauri driver here, and Regin causing a lot of issues. And so when we see Carson Avane and
He has been rear-ended. Yeah.
Yes. The Kartoffel rear-ended the car of
Sonavane in Red Bull. So yeah, that's not a good thing. We saw Russell with a great safety car restart there. He was just weaving for a second and then he just started. It was really a controlled safety car restart. So kudos to him for that. Gaining 2 seconds off Regin at the start itself.
I think partially what helped is he had Moto right behind him as well, who basically acted as the barrier. Oh, and we see he getting so close to Regin, just getting a bit impatient here, but now he's gotten the move done towards turn 1. He's got the inside line, a clear cut, a clear track as well as in front of him, so he doesn't have to worry about it. And Regin just losing positions left, right, and center. This was not the optimum tire strategy for the safety car restart, but I wonder if Regin can get something out of it. And he loses 2 positions right now in the span of 1 corner. Streeter just goes for the move in the DRS. Even without DRS, that car is extremely slow in the straight line. And we see RB Ferrello just getting ahead of Regin. Regin just unable to defend at this stage with those tires on, and Black Sheep getting closer as well. Like I said, those medium tires are in perfect position, or are in prime are in the prime temperature right now, and have amazing grip compared to those hard tires, worn hard tires.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It just looks like he doesn't have confidence to defend there, because he knows he might lose the car there, and he just can't afford that.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we see Black Sheep just getting another move on Regin. I think Regin
He's
is
kind
the
of a
only
moving
person.
roadblock right now.
Yeah, true. Yeah, yikes. So we see again Lokesh now challenging Regin for P10. And Regin just moves from P2 to P10 in a span of one or two laps, if I'm not wrong, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. DRS
Uh,
is already enabled, so that is sad. It should be.
hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps Regin with his defense against King James, because the only thing I noticed is Regin didn't have a lot of straight line speed. That's why he's being overtaken so easily. And yikes, Regin defending a little against Lokesh and losing a lot of time compared to Black Sheep. He's already 1.4 seconds behind. This should be an easy overtake for Lokesh, considering he will have DRS coming towards turn 6 and 7. And again, on those medium tires against those hard tires, there's going to be no competition with ERS, with DRS. That's going to be an easy move on Regin as Lokesh moves up to P9. And we see RB Forello getting closer to Streeter. The one great aspect RB has right now is he's got a 1.2 second or 1 second gap to Black Sheep. And as I say that gap moves down to 9 tenths, so Black Sheep will have. Oh, and RB Forello just gets a very bad exit coming out of the turns 10, 8 and 9, essentially. And I'm simply just going for a very, very opportunistic move. And I must say, quite a risky move there from Simply YT, getting ahead of the Alpine in. Oh, and it's fight between the Aston Martin as well. There's a lot of action right now at this stage because of the safety car. And now it looks like Janet is taking his chunk out of Regin, who moves from P2 to P10 and now losing a lot of positions right at this stage of the race. Yeah, so
Wow.
AJT, do you think Regin should pit in a lap or two?
Yeah,
What do
I'm
you
not
think?
sure. I want to know what is in his mind, because yeah, he is keeping out for one another lap. I'm not sure when he wants to pit and what he had decided earlier by keeping out. Oh, that's a very safe pit entry.
Yeah.
That
Moto should take steps from Applebot how to avoid the 5-second penalty.
Speaking of which, Moto is actually gaining time on Russell, so it looks like the mediums is just working out well for him compared to Russell.
Can we actually go to can we go to Moto because I have a suspicion that Moto is in HS's DRS right now. That's why he's gaining on.
Actually, HL has gone down to where Streeter is. He's somewhere between Streeter and Black Sheep.
Oh wow, that's far back from HL there. Yeah, so that is actually Moto's true pace then. So yeah, I think you mentioned it. Sorry for cutting you off, but you were correct there. Moto has some good pace at the end of in the stint of the race, and he's struggling on those hard tires. I think clearly the only person that's not struggling on the hard tires right now is simply, and we see Rabi Viralo just getting wing damage, so he's gonna pit soon as well. There's nothing RB Ferrari can do. This Ferrari boys have had a very bad day.
Yeah, just
not
one
really.
lap ago he was P7 and qualifying at what, P18, P17, he just went P7, and his strategy also worked out well, but just making a mistake has costed him the whole race right now, and he has to pit. Okay, he just hit somehow.
Yeah, my heart just sunk there as I almost thought he was going to go straight into the wall. The only good part of that would be that he won't get any additional wing damage. Yeah, that could have been a retirement. And this is simply just get it. I think, yeah, simply is on those new hard tires, so he's gonna have some better grip compared to Regin, and now simply will have the benefit of DRS coming towards turns 6 and 7. And of course, simply using his DRS, getting the benefit of DRS, going for the leaving Regin won't even defend that corner at all, because he knows he's had that move done on him 5 to 6 times right now already. So yeah, he's not going to defend too much there, and just waiting for an opportunity to make something happen right now.
Yeah, so now looks like Kartoffel has to pit again for a softs, probably in a lap or two, because his softs are down to 7 laps old now. and we are on board Black Sheep right now, who's trying to cut the time gap between him and Streeter.
But definitely struggling a lot, as you can see from his lines there.
Oh, we
He's
must have
struggling.
missed out something that Helium has overtaken SD. Actually, I'm not sure when that has happened, but yeah, that is a safety car, and he does have a second lead, 1.2 seconds.
Yeah, that is. Oh, and he's cutting down on his gap between Aradhya and Helium as well. He's just 1.1 seconds away. He's extremely close to getting into the DRS of Aradhya Gupta, who again has a 3-second penalty. So if Helium can keep himself within 3 seconds of Aradhya, he is looking at a podium finish here today. Yes, and again, Moto, even with that 5-second penalty, is flying at the moment, and I wonder if that is just because Russell is saving on his ERS. Can we take a look at Russell for a second or two?
Oh, he is already out of
No.
DRS, and he has been doing that even in the when he had to lead, he was on the same percentage, that is 15%. So he is okay, and even Moto is gaining on him, right? Both of them do not have any percentage of ERS. It's going to be a DRS battle. That is, if Moto gets in 1 second of him, it might win actually.
Yeah, and you can see that Moto looks to be way more stronger than Russell on that medium stint, or maybe Russell is just trying to get Moto to use that medium stint so that he won't have to defend against Moto. And by the end of this race, this could be mind games played by Russell so as to get Moto to use a lot of their starters quite early in the race. What do you think about that, ABD?
Yeah, that is one. That's a great point. Actually, we are into the DRS detection zone for Moto, and yeah, he's gonna miss out by a 0.1 second there. Probably a lap is one more lap, and he might be in the detection zone. So that's a very good point that you have put it there. And the reason why Russell might be doing that game is because he knows Moto has 5-second time penalty, so
Right.
do that against him.
Oh yeah, definitely. That 5-second penalty isn't doing Moto any justice at this scenario, at this stage in the race, and yeah, it's not looking great for Moto right now. Considering that even though if Russell does get overtaken, which he might be looking at probably in 3 or 5 laps or so, Russell will still be fast enough to keep himself within 5 seconds of Moto. And as we see, we have 2 drivers fighting to keeping themselves in DRS range, and that is Helium and Moto as they're trying to catch the drivers right ahead of him. Helium, of course, chasing Aradhya, and Moto chasing Russell at the moment. Helium is more closer to Aradhya than Moto is to Russell. So let's see if Helium can find some pace right now at this stage to get a move on Aradhya. But we've seen Aradhya on this stage before. He's been calm and composed in the first stint, and he's kept himself ahead of Helium. And we see Helium break a little too late there and just loses out on 3 to 4 tenths because of that one mistake. And now we're on board, of course, Lokesh, 5 tenths away
There's a
from
yellow
Black
flag,
Sheep.
and that is a Ferrari. That looks like Arvid Farello has gone off track, and yeah, he has slipped his wing again. Can we go on board Moto now? He's about to get in the, yeah, he gets the DRS right now, and let's stick on to him for a while probably.
Yeah, and this seems to be an interesting development in this race right now. Moto will have the benefit of DRS, and Russell will have to use his ERS just to keep Moto behind. But this is one scenario where we've seen Helium following Aradhya for 5 to 6 laps, unable to make the move and losing a lot of his tire temperatures, a lot of his tire wear to the dirty air out of Aradhya. So I wonder if we're going to see something similar here with Moto as he's getting a lot of benefit from his ERS and DRS. 5 tenths closer, but this is the stage where he needs to maintain that gap. This is the stage where he needs to keep himself close, because we've seen Sector 2 and Sector 3 be extremely heavy in terms of the corners there, and the downforce level at this stage, this 2 sectors is extremely high. Over to you, ABD.
Yeah, it just looks so beautiful watching Moto drive, and he's just calm and he's really focused. It's just probably one. I think he will be aiming to overtake in the again second DRS zone. that looks only the area that he can overtake without any ERS because both of them are low on ERS. Can we go on board Rizzle because I don't see his lights flashing and he's on 30% somehow, and that should be actually enough for hold him off for 2 laps definitely. And after that, the 5 second time penalty is going to do the game. So this should be good enough for Rizzle. He needs to defend from
True.
3 laps, I think.
Yeah, I think if I was in Whistle's place, I wouldn't use that ERS at all. I would let Moto overtake me, and then I'll just follow Moto with that ERS and make sure I never get out of the ERS zone. Yeah, and you can see Moto is getting ready to go for a move right here. He's 3 tenths off, and we know 3 tenths is all you need to go for the move right now. And as you see, Rizzle just trying to weave a little, trying to break that toe. Moto getting close, but I think he's just a bit too far away at this stage of the race to go for a move. I wonder what happened there with Moto as he gets a very bad exit coming out of turn 5 and unable to go for a move down towards turn 7 in the second DRS sector. And we see
He's stretching those softs to 10 laps. Kartoffel has 10 laps old softs, and that is the reason why he has won there. Oh, that is not why. I am not sure. I think he was trying to finish off the race with that, but that is nowhere possible. There goes Raging with the fastest lap with the fresher softs actually. Okay.
Yeah, no. You're right again. Ridgen just trying to steal the fastest lap away from Rizzle. Unfortunately, he'll have to enter into the top 10 to get any benefit out of that fastest lap point. But I wonder if Carfadel, Eitzel, or RV Farello could do something about that lap here. All these 4 drivers are on the softs and are in contention for the fastest lap right now, and it'll just see who's the fastest of them all to get that fastest lap. And we see Moto getting another run at Rizzle. This is the first sector where you can get a run after your driver in front of you there. 3 tenths off, Moto 3 tenths off Rizzle. Rizzle still using some of his ERS to keep himself ahead, 4 tenths ahead right now. But again, Moto is not letting Rizzle get any benefit or just piling up the pressure onto Rizzle. And now has the benefit of DRS moving towards turn 7. He is getting closer. He's a little bit more closer to Rizzle and almost goes for the move. At one stage, I thought he might go for a lunge there, but yeah, Rizzle held his line quite well and defended all too well.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he was going for the move because he went on to the he put it all on, like went off to what 0% of his ERS. As we speak, Koushik has just got 3 more seconds of time penalty, and that is going to put him probably down to P9, P10. One up is
Aradhya makes a mistake.
Oh no, he's
another safety car. A safety car. This is
safety car out at the lap 27.
This is a little good.
Moto is not gonna be happy about. No, he's not gonna be. He has a 5-second time penalty, and Helium is gonna catch him. Even realistically, he's going to catch him. It's going to be 2 laps of max 3 laps of racing out there. No, it's not possible. 3 laps is not an option there.
You know what I would do if I was Rizzle right now? If I was Rizzle, I'd slow down extremely. I'd slow down a lot right now because what I want right now is to put Moto in pressure. So I'll slow down. I'll use a lot of nice safety car delta time and make sure Moto. Oh wait, did he pull a dummy? What? No, Rizzle is not pitting? What? Rizzle is pulling a dummy on Moto right now. Oh wow! And Moto pits, goes on to this. I wonder if Helium's not gonna pit then. If Helium doesn't pit, then he's gonna stay out and he's gonna follow.
Helium is pitting.
SD's not pitting. Oh my God! This is changing the complexion of the race. There are a lot of drivers who are deciding to stay out on those mediums, thinking those mediums will last. To be honest, those mediums could last, but there's not enough time. Can Moto catch up? This is something we not noticed here. There are only, let's say, 3 laps left onto this race. So let's say there's 1 lap of safety car. There's going to be
really doubt if the safety car is going to be all the drivers are going to catch up to the safety car, and I'm
true
that the safety car will go in the end of lap 29. So that is 2 laps.
True.
Lap 30 and 31 would be the racing.
Yeah, I think Moto would be able to catch up if I'm not wrong, but then yeah, that just puts a lot of pressure on SD and Rissel. Is this the decision that costs Rissel his win? He's been extremely strong in the first half, and he's been holding his own against Moto in the second half. Like I said, this could make it or break it for Moto. We know Moto was never going to win with that 5 second penalty, but now he has some sort of a chance. He has 2 laps. His main focus has to be to get rid of our real SD as quickly as possible within the first lap and focus everything on this. He use all of his ERS that he can gain and just push his car to the absolute limit here. Rissel will defend like a madman because this will probably move down to the last lap of the race, and Rissel won't give up that position so easily. And it just all depends on how quick Moto will be on that fresh soft. That dummy from Rissel played played a lot of
I doubt if it was Rizzle who changed Moto's mind, because anyway I think Moto
Moto
happened is
had
he has
penalties.
served
Yeah,
those 5 second penalties, so it's just, and he's
true.
back to position 5, so he might just be able to, if he's able to overtake both of them, that's just well and good for him. Now the thing is he has to just regenerate
But I
that
wonder.
DRS. The DRS is going to be disabled throughout the
True.
race now, and it's just an ERS battle. Yeah, you were saying
True,
something.
but I wonder, ABD, why didn't Russell pit? What would he have to lose in that situation? Now what he has is SD, who won't challenge him, but he has Moto, who is a quick driver. We saw Moto catch up with Russell quite quickly on those medium tires. He has Moto right behind him on soft tires. What stopped Russell from pitting? If he pitted at that stage, I'm pretty sure he would have been a few seconds behind SD, but he would still be on those fresh softs and he would have no contention from Moto at any stage of the race. So again, I'm not sure what happened to Rissel there with his strategy call.
Yeah, that's a very good point there. And now, right now, there are two scenarios. Like Rissel might be eyeing to defend against SD, but there's Moto with the stops, and he might just, like, if we have a three-way battle, there's a chance that Moto might just escape both of them very easily. Yeah, so the safety car is going to be in this lap for sure. That is definitely there.
Oh
And
no.
simply,
Oh no, I just noticed something. There is 2 lap cars right between Moto and SD.
okay,
This is what was his plan essentially. But those 2 lap cars would be basically roasted, if I'm not wrong, but
yeah,
still
but
would
that's
cause some
definitely gonna
issue.
create a gap during the
Yes.
start. Yeah, and we can see that Simply has done something what Regin has done earlier. He is out with his 16 lap old hard. Now we'll have to see how well he can restart. So over to you, have for the race restart. Yeah.
Yeah, again, as you mentioned, rightfully so, safety car is out simply again out on those halves. So we might see a repeat of Regin with Simply because everyone behind Simply is on soft tires. So I don't think Simply will last a lap or two. But Regin right now just taking his time, keeping his car under control, doesn't want to heat up his tires too much. He knows that he has Akash Sonawane right between him and SD, so he knows SD won't be able to challenge him at the safety car restart. The only mistake he can make is maybe burn out his tires or get a very bad exit, or maybe lose some traction coming out of
Can
some
we go
corner.
on board Moto just for a second? Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there's so many cars right between them. So
Yeah.
there's and Rissel is off. Rissel gets 1 second on SD again because of those because of Akash Sarmane's lap car. Akash Sarmane moves past. Sorry, yeah, Akash Sarmane moves past Real SD, being a gentleman there with the blue flags, and we don't see the Ferrari of Nomo P doing the same for Moto. Moto moves up into P2. Real SD unable to defend against Moto is 1 second closer to Rissel. This is getting devastating for the Haas driver as Moto is already a second behind Rissel. Moto is just showing the amount of raw pace he has on those softs. There's no chance Rissel can defend against Moto right now. This is getting closer and closer. The fight is on. Moto knows he's getting closer. He's just waiting for a chance to go for a move. I know exactly where Moto is going to go for a move. He's probably planning to go for a move. down into turn 7, but looking at how this race is panning out, I'm pretty sure he's going to go for a move into turn 14. He's got a better exit, and he's going to use some of his ERS, and he's using a lot of his slipstream. And Rissel defends the inside line. Motor tries to go for a move on the outside. Rissel defends. He's left no space for Motor there. Oh wow, this race is turning out to be quite jump, quite something. But again, now we move on to the last lap, and like I said, Moto just needs to calm down a bit. He will have his chance to go for a move, and that move will be at turn 7. That is the best overtaking zone as we've seen all day long. This is Moto's one last chance. He's closer. I wonder if he's going to try to go for a move at turn 1. Is he going to get better exit out of turn 22, 23, and Helium gets the fastest lap? That doesn't matter because Moto's going to go for a move on the inside in turn 1. They both touch. There's contact between Moto and Rissel. Again, Helium just waiting for Moto to make one mistake and Rissel to make a mistake along with Moto. And like I said, this is the one turn that I think Moto can get a jump on Rissel. Moto should be using a lot of his ERS right now. He's tilting the inside line. Rissel trying to defend the best as he can. Rissel defending the inside line. Will he have enough grip? Moto goes for the switchback, but Rissel has the inside line. Will he will push Moto out? I knew this was going to happen.
That is just unfortunate for him. That is really unfortunate for him. I think even Banat is getting a lot of positions there. That is really unfortunate for him. This is similar to what Ashray had. This is similar to what Ashray how he got DNF. Now, Real SD has made up to it. I am not sure what happened with Helium right there. So he is sticking to P3, but whereas Real SD moved from P4 to P2 there, Logesh has 6 seconds time penalty right now, and that will definitely put him down to P5 probably once they end the race. And there is there we go.
Oh, and that's an amazing move by King James. Wow, gets an amazing line coming out of turn 13 and just immediately gets ahead of Regin, and Regin loses another position to Peter. And we see Banat and Logesh for again getting closer to Helium. Helium, one of the few drivers to lose a lot out of the incident with Moto and Rissel. As we saw, Helium had to slow down for a second or two just to avoid that collision. So this is why Helium is currently in P3, and Real SD wins. Rissel wins the race, followed by Real SD and Helium in P3. Wow, such an amazing, a bit of a questionable end to the race. I believe there could be a bit more space that Rissel could have given to Moto there, but yeah, like I said, Singapore didn't bowl us in the end. That was one hell of a strategic call by Moto, and we almost got the win there. But Rissel holds on to P1, followed by Real SD in P2, Helium in P3, Banat in P4, Logesh in P5, Peter in P6, Regin in P7, King James in P8, Simply in P9, Black Sheep in P10. I believe it would be RB Ferrello in P12, Eitzel in P13, P11, RB Ferrello in P11, Eitzel in P12, Sonaman in P14, and Mopo in P14.
No, I believe RB Ferrello is lap. That is why they're going to be.
Right, okay.
So since Mopo has completed the 75%, he's going to finish on P11. So that's sad, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be happy with that.
Happy with it, definitely.
It really worked out well for Banat. That is Alfa Romeo. Both of them are got P4 there. Logesh somehow has managed to stay on that P5 position, and I think it was the Moto incident that helped him to create that difference there. And Regin, he gets what he was aiming for. Finally, he gets the P7 there. It was really great race for King James, who gained 12 positions here. He did not join during quali, and from P20 to P8 is what he has done.
Yeah. Again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the steer team would deal with that incident. I think again, I could see the flashback to Ashray as soon as I saw Rissel on the inside defending that corner. I knew that's probably something that was going to happen. Maybe Moto should have thought about that and sort of moved away from that overtaking zone. But regardless, we have our winner here. We have Rissel, we have Real SD, and we have Helium in the podium position. Can we get our drivers into commentary box so that we
Yeah.
can start?
Meanwhile, Ashok, can you just go through the race director and catch all the stuff? I'll gather the podium people.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just go over with our super chats then. Let's see what we can find there.
Sorry, let's go with.
Yeah, let's just, can we see, take a look at the super chats? Just to see if there's anything there.
I doubt if we can go to the YouTube first.
Right now we cannot.
Yeah.
Alright, give me a second. Let me see if we can figure something out here.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to do it manually.
Alright, okay, so we have, as I can see, we have 100. We have $100 from Dan D Man, which is basically Rissel Oambu. I think I butchered it. Can you try and spell this out, ABD? I think it's something Dan loves to say, right?
I think you should not say that on stream. You should
No,
not say that
not
on
on
stream. Okay, let's just move on from that.
Yeah, I think that was a strategic character assassination from Dan D there on stream. Yeah, regardless, let's move on. Do we have a podium sitters with us?
Yeah, we do. We have all three of them. I think we'll start with P3.
Perfect.
That is Helium. Over to you have.
All right, Helium again.
Hello.
A very good race from you. I see a lot of the times we're just falling behind Aradhya and we're just fighting him. I think most of, I think 22, 30, 40% of the race was you just staying behind Aradhya. So just walk us through what was happening. That was the totally from Aradhya just messing up your race to a certain extent.
I won't say so. Actually, I don't know how faster than I was, because I didn't really practice and I don't know how quickly he was. Yeah, I mean, whole race I was just behind Aradhya, and then the last safety car really made me think I could get at least P2 because Moto was also on softs. And that contact with Rissel kind of, I don't know if that's a penalty or not, but anyways, doesn't matter. I'm happy with where I am. So yeah, it was pretty much just driving behind Aradhya for the whole race.
Alright, yeah, again, like I said, I think, again, once the safety car came out, I believe you were fighting with Aradhya, but then Aradhya banged his car against the wall, had been damaged, and then it was a clear bit of a win. I think there was one position where Moto again crashed out, and you had to slow down a bit there. So could you explain what happened there? Because I didn't get a good look, but the only thing I saw was you really had to slow down, and SD was able to overtake you at that stage then.
So I think it was turn 6 or 7, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But Rissel and Moto were going side by side onto the very sharp right-hander, and there's not really too much space. And I don't know why Rissel's car just went straight for me. I don't know if that was some netcode issue, or I mean, I don't know. So I saw Moto turn right, and I saw that they were going side by side, so I slowed down before braking. Also. But then they got glued together. I mean, I saw Rissel go straight, and they got glued together to the wall. And I think Moto DF'd there, and I went into Rissel's rear. So I got brain damage after that. And obviously then SG went past me very easily. And I just tried to keep everyone else behind me, so yeah. Yeah,
I think towards the line you were just fighting your Logesh, but Logesh again had that penalty, so he got pushed down to P5 if I'm not wrong, and Banat got promoted up to P4. Again, an amazing result for your team as a whole. I think that's the largest point score that we've had from this race, at least in terms of the constructors. So, and again, an amazing race for you and your team as well. So, you can a good job from you, Helium.
Sure.
Congratulations on the podium. Let's move on to our P2 driver, Real SD. AVD, how about you take this one?
Yeah, see, talk us through the safety car restart. There were two drivers ahead of you, that is Moto and Helium, going for the pits during the last safety car restart. Uh, any particular reason why you think that you had to stay out, actually?
I mean, if you've seen the entire race, I didn't lead the race. I was stuck. I was doing Aradhya's pace, and Helium was just getting held up behind him. So I think the top three were quite clear in terms of race pace. I think I would have taken top five, but then when the safety car came, in the last safety car, I decided to pit because I had nothing to lose. To be honest, if I had pitted, I would have been behind Helium, but I would have been at least in that clean air position where I would be able to like go ahead. But I wouldn't have had the chance to get past Helium, So I just rolled the dice. I saw that Moto pitted, but they still didn't pit. So like, okay, what is there to lose? Most of the at worst, I'll be behind Helium again, P4. So that was the main decision. But yeah, the restart, if you saw, the old mediums were nothing compared to the average softs, and then the medium moderately heated softs. So yeah, just spun it where I think there was an incident between last lap. I think something happened at the front. I was not able to see because I was that far behind. But yeah, exactly at the corner where I overtook Helium lap before, I did the same thing. I lost my rear and my rear tires hit. Luckily, I did not DNF. But yeah, I ghosted and Helium cleanly went through me. So I'm happy with P2, of course. I'll take it any day. But yeah, the race pace wasn't there for me.
Yeah. I guess that's probably an amazing result considering all the issues you had in the race, and again the strategic call to stay out probably worked out best for you in terms of getting that P2. Abri, is there anything else you want to add to that?
I'd like to add something. I just want an excuse, but yeah, the entire session I did, let's say on 50 to 80, FPS was completely stuttering. So it's one of the worst races to have stutterers, and this unfortunately that happened to today itself. So
Yeah.
this is like, I'm so happy with the result, I'm over the moon with the result, to be honest with you, and this kind of like it solidifies my championship challenge. But yeah, the race was just a horrible experience.
Right.
Yeah, we bet. So the strategy really went out well for you, and even the safety car restart also. But anyways, great result for you again. Consistency back to back. This is the third podium, I believe, in 3 races. I think.
No, not really. I had a P5, but again, yeah, it's say 4 of 5 podiums this season. So yeah, that's a great.
Yeah, so I actually have one small team question. Actually, you were in VC with Black Sheep. So tell us about what was the discussion going on mainly between you two, because we have seen Black Sheep go on and off. Like he was gaining position, he was losing position. There was not. There didn't seem to be consistency, probably. But yeah, we'll get to know probably from you.
I think Black Sheep from the beginning itself was not in the mindset, because I think beginning for quali itself it was a bit iffy. I think, I don't know, with the setup, or maybe like in the quali we noticed that there was an incident. I don't know if it was caught on stream, but there was an incident where he, I think, impeded this guy who was Rakas Sonamane. So yeah, that kind of, I think, said, and if you start when you P5 and P8, it doesn't give you good results. So yeah, we just got stuck behind, let's say in the first stint, behind one of the midfield runners, and yeah, there's not having a good race. To be honest, like sitting behind in the dirty air is one of the worst experiences on this track. So yeah, just lost it. I think once or twice. I think there were some incidents between the other drivers. He lost wing in the middle part of the stint, the entire race in the medium run. So yeah, I mean, he will not be happy definitely, but I think he'll bounce back for it, which is one of his good tracks. So yeah, look forward to him.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, SD, for joining us, and congratulations on your P2.
All right, let's move on to our race winner as of this moment, Rissel. Rissel, again, I'm pretty sure you did you have any practice sessions before the start of this race?
A short quali and I think a medium stint. I did, I think, a few days ago, and then I did a short quali today as well. So
yeah, I think that that barely counts as practice session, but regardless, a pretty good form that you showed today, because again, I remember your first stint with those hearts, it was flawless. You were completely in control of the car and there was no issue. Again, the second stint with the medium is where you suffered a little more, because I think Moto just had. I don't think you suffered. I think Moto just had more pace on those mediums. I think his car was built for those mediums. But my main question is, what happened during the last safety car where Radha Gupta basically destroyed his car, the safety car? Moto was just a second or two behind you, and you pulled off a dummy. But again, while we were discussing throughout the safety car, we felt like it would have been better if you pitted along with Moto, because yes, you would have lost maybe one position to SD, but again, you'll have fresh softs and you will have ERS, and again, Moto won't be able to challenge you at all, considering what happened right now at the end.
Yeah, I didn't pit for the softs because I didn't think Moto would have pitted either, and maybe actually I honestly don't remember why I didn't pit. I just didn't pit. What's done is done. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, so tell us about the controversial end that is going to be. Let's talk about the last lap. Could you elaborate what happened from your point of view, of course?
Right. So, I believe I started the last lap like 0.05 at a Moto. Then he went for a move into turn 1. I don't know what happened, but he didn't make the corner, and I had to go straight. And then the turn 5-1, I believe. Yeah, my car got glued to his, so we were alongside on the apex of turn 7, I believe, the tight right-hander. And then on the apex, he turns in, and my rear left is glued to his right front, and my car just goes straight. I'm putting like opposite lock all the way, but the car just does not turn. So I could have done nothing to avoid that, and then I hit the wall and get orange front wing. So yeah.
Yeah, and you still maintained your P1 even with that front wing. That was been extremely difficult considering ST was just a few seconds behind you at the end, almost going for an overtake at the very end there.
Yeah, I thought SD was gonna win because I had orange front wing, and I didn't think I would keep the lead. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what was happening behind me. So yeah.
Right, okay.
I think. Sorry, to chip in, I had to lift off to not hit Helium at the head, so yeah, that lost me the couple of seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, no problem. Yeah, good race, great race, even though what happened.
Yeah, again, an amazing race from you, Russell. The first stint was amazing. Even the second stint was amazing. And at the end, you did win with an unfavorable scenario. So almost a perfect job from you there.
Yeah.
All right, congratulations to all our podium. So I believe if there's nothing else, then let's just close this off then.
Yeah, yep.
All right, thank you for watching round 7 of our season here at IRC. Of course, this has been Tier 1. We've had Tier 2 race here today as well, and that was an interesting race as well. So if you've enjoyed watching Tier 1, you might want to step out and watch Tier 2, because that's one hell of a race you need to take a look at. And I think that's the IRC team signing off. Again, we'll be back here again next week. So do visit us again, and we'll still give you one hell of a race. I think we all enjoyed the end of that race. It was nerve-wracking seeing Moto go for the gaps, go for the moves, go for the win, and again the chaos that led between the incident between Russell and Moto favored some other drivers, and we've seen a complete jumbled up podium here. That has been an amazing race. How about you, ABD? Did you enjoy the race today?
Yeah, it was really great. I mean, all of the safety car restart was interesting to watch, and it really had us filled with anxiety. I'm guessing what all possibilities were there on the table.
Yeah, true. In hindsight, I think Russell, of course, if he pitted, he would have had a better chance. But again, this is hindsight, and hindsight doesn't work in Formula 1. It's all about decisions that you have to take in split-second scenarios. Regardless, we still had an amazing race, an amazing end, and we'll be back here again